Last season we did so very, very well until we got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League against English opposition, lost our star man in the shape of Piazza and got knocked out. This season we've made it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We're about to face English opposition in the shape of Arsenal, and we've got to do it without Nuneaton. Hello and welcome to part 189 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League quarter-final tie against Arsenal. Since you were last with me, this is what's been going on. Premier League form was fine, apart from the Man United game, which is Simon Ganley's only game for ages. He's having an odd season. He's obviously exploded into the team, has been awesome, scoring goals for fun, but got injured, came back, scored goals for fun, got injured some more. He should maybe be fit for the second leg, although it's only a week away. He has failed a fitness test to play today. Hopefully he's going to be fit for the second leg because he is full of goals when he's fit. But we did lose that home game against Man United. So the Premier League is done. 5 games left. We're 12 points behind Man United. We're not winning the Premier League. We don't really care because that's not what it's about. We've won that twice in a row now. We have got an FA Cup semi-final coming up. So there's a consolation prize on offer. I mean, we've already won the Carabao Cup. But really, it's all about this match against Arsenal. In 20 minutes time, Football Manager 2018 could effectively be over for me, and that would be very sad. And how ironic that it's the team that we won the Champions League in non-league to legend with this year in the shape of Arsenal. I do hope they don't have Pingu in their team. This is the team we're putting out there to face them because Nuneaton is out. Nuneaton's going to be out for a while as well. He's out for another 2 to 5 weeks with what's actually wrong with you, Enoch? Broken ribs. I mean, he's having another cracking season. These last couple of seasons, now he's an old man, 30 years old now, but these last couple of seasons have been the best of his career. It's been ridiculous. And we are going to miss him. We don't really have a backup attacking midfielder. We've got Esteban, but he's done. If we have a look at Esteban, yeah, he's not someone we want to bring in for a Champions League quarter-final. So we go to the 3 up top. We've used it so many times in recent years. We've got to do it without Ganley, but I think that front 3 still looks pretty special. So we've got Harry's in goal. A back four, Stratenovic, Ripert, Taraka and Coupler. In fact, just need to tweak that because Day played in the last game and he does defensive centre-back. See, I do tweak tactics sometimes. We've got Tate, Ruzic and Barbas in midfield, and then Alonso, Jones and Piazza up front. I think, if you ignore the fact that David Roberts is still injured and we've got a fairly weak left back in, I think that looks like a good team. But obviously, Arsenal are a good team too. Have they got Twan in their side? They haven't. I mean, we've not learnt from our lessons, have we? It's the away leg of a Champions League quarter-final against a team who have had our number in recent years. And we're not going there and defending. Oh, we've got a midfielder injured. Right, let's stick another striker on. We are coming to the Emirates to try and outscore Arsenal, or at least score a bunch of goals. Even if we lose like 4-2, I think that puts us in a decent position going into the second leg. We must score some goals today, though. Piazza's in behind, squares it to, I think that's Alonso. No, it was Jones in the middle, and he's tackled, but we could have taken the lead inside the first minute there. That would have been absolutely delicious. I'm terrified that this is all about to go wrong. And, oh my word, they could have had a first minute goal as well. Well, that was a lively start. This doesn't look like a tense Champions League knockout game, does it? It's an end-to-end Premier League match, which I guess goes in our favour, plays into our hands, doesn't it? We're the attacking team. We're the Premier League team. Arsenal are a more seasoned European side, and they've dominated early possession. 60% possession. They've had 4 shots. We've had none. Already had a clear-cut chance and a half chance. Arsenal have ruined us in those first 10 minutes. We need to get a hold of this game, and quick. Piazza finds Barbas. Coupler's on the overlap, but instead plays it back to Piazza. That was a beautiful pass, and Piazza hits the post. Chance of the game so far, maybe. I mean, it was a good chance. Piazza, you got to hope for him to do a little bit better there, and I hope the fact that he's still only 20 doesn't end up counting against us. If we had a 25-year-old Piazza in this team, then we don't need the other 10 players. He'll just do it by himself. I'm convinced he goes on to become the best player in the world in this universe, but he's not there yet, and he still does have moments of not looking brilliant. 0-0 at half time. Absolutely not a disaster. I said I wanted to come in and score goals. If it ends 0-0, I'm going to be very happy with that. Obviously, 1-0 to us would be even better. 1-1 would be great because we get an away goal. But I don't care. Let's just not lose 5-0. We've all been down this road before in these away legs in the latter stages of Europe. We have the Ripert moment, which we still haven't had yet in this game. And, is this it? Is that the Ripert moment? No. We have the Ripert moment where he just bottles it and throws everything away, and then we just concede goal after goal after goal after goal. If we can avoid being out of the tie before the second leg, that's going to be progress over previous runs in European competition. Right, 20 minutes to go. What on earth do we do? Piazza and Jones not playing well. Do we dare take off Piazza? I think we should. Charlie Jones is our captain. He's our leader. We take Jones off. We're going to freshen up the midfield as well. And we're going to bring on Wanda in the midfield for Ruzic. And just get his experience in that midfield three. Just to urge us forward. He turned the team around once many years ago. Can he turn us around again and just push us over the edge into being champions of Europe? Or at least not getting knocked out in the quarterfinal again. Because that would be nice. Charlie Jones not playing well at all. Do we shut up shop? Do we take Jones off and go to 2 up front and stick Centurion in? We could even stick him in behind and go 4-1-3-2. Do we decide that we're happy? Is this the time to mess with tactics? Do we decide that... I'm talking myself into it. We're very happy with a 0-0. Caminero can play up front, though. Centurion can play as the attacking midfielder. I don't know what to do. Crippling indecision. We take off Charlie Jones, but we're not going to mess with the tactic. We're going to stick to what we know and hope it doesn't bite me in the backside. Centurion, quite comfortable, playing in there. Let's just go to the 4-3-1-2 that we all know and love. Oh, no. I mean, if we don't concede, then it wasn't a bad decision. If we score here, I'm a hero. Barbas heads it towards goal. We've not had oodles of chances, but Barbas again plays it into Mustafa. We have men in the middle. Mustafa crosses towards Alonso, but it's collected by the Arsenal keeper. And I thought my heater was on, but it's not, so I won't try and turn it off. It's hot in here. I think that shows how stressed I am. I'm so hot, I think the heating's on in my freezing cold garage. Alonso, cross to Mustafa. Can't get a hold of it. Barbas scores from the edge of the area. And on the 91st minute, we're 1-0 up away from home in the Champions League quarter-final. I haven't celebrated a goal like that in a long time. Oh my word, this means more to me than a video game should mean to a 36-year-old man who's got like kids and family and real life things. But this is so important right now. And Barbas just thumped it into that top corner. If we can hold on here. Now do we drop Centurion back? Don't need to. We've won the away leg. We've won the blooming away leg. Right. We've won the away leg. We've got the away goal. We just have to go to the home match at the Sir Tom Elliott Arena and finish the job. But first we've got to play Southampton in the Premier League, which I'll do now. Oh, my heart. Here we go then. The biggest game in the history of Nuneaton Town Football Club. And we make 2 changes from the first leg. Ganley comes in up front. He's not a fully fit Ganley, only 87% condition and not quite match fit. But this Ganley in this form, he can only play an hour. He'll only need an hour. It'll tear him apart, hopefully. Just remember about Ganley as well. One of my very favourite things about him. James Ball signed him as head of youth development. I had nothing to do. I can't believe James Ball isn't on his favourite personnel. I had nothing to do with the signing of Simon Ganley, but we have the spirit of James Ball in our team through Ganley, and that excites me. That's why I like him so much. That and the fact he's awesome. Also, Centurion comes in for Tate in midfield because Tate has now joined the injury list and is out for up to a month. Could potentially miss the rest of the season, along with Nuhu and Roberts. In fact, are either of them likely to be fit again this season? I can't get my head around the fact we might never see Nuhu play again. 2 to 4 weeks for Nuhu. We need a couple of finals. We need a Champions League final and an FA Cup final, so Nuhu gets to have his his final hurrah and say goodbye to us all. We can't end the save not ever seeing Enoch Nuhu score a goal again. That would be devastating. Let's get into the game. Oh, nerves. Right, we just don't mess up. That's all it is. Just don't mess up. Because we're ahead from the first leg. We have an away goal from the first leg. We've got a better 11 players out there now than the 11 we had in the first leg because we've got Ganley back in the team. We should score goals today. We've got to do what every Kev team in the history of the world has been sent out there to do. We just have to score more goals than they do. Easy peasy. Ganley to Piazza. Piazza, who, by the way, I've just had a look, is already on the Nuneaton Club Legends list. It took me more than 20 years to get on that Legends list. The likes of, I don't know, Sir Tom Elliott, Joe Anderson, James Ball. These players never even made it onto favoured personnel. Never mind the Legends list. Piazza's been here a year and a half. Is it a year and a half or 2.5 years now? And he's already a Nuneaton legend, which I think that's quite impressive. And Charlie Jones, not yet on the Legends list, puts us 1-0 up on the night, 2-0 up on aggregate. That is the best start we possibly could have hoped for in this Champions League quarter-final. And club legend Piazza does brilliantly, crosses to Jones, Jones scores, and there's Ganley with his little... That's a clap directly from James Ball we've just had there. I did just try and get all of the gang back together. I've just made Dan Fisher an offer to come in as Director of Football, but he turned it down. He just wants to be Head of Youth Development. So I then went and offered current Head of Youth Development, James Ball, a contract as Director of Football so that I could bring Fisher in to replace him. He's rejected it as well. I don't think there's going to be any way to get Dan Fisher back to this club for the end of the save, because both him and Ball only want to be Head of Youth Development. And as much as I love Dan Fisher, we all love James Ball a little bit more, don't we? Surely. If for nothing else, and he's already proven he's a very good Head of Youth Development by bringing Ganley to the club. Although Ganley is a little bit broken today, isn't he? I probably shouldn't be playing him. He's a young kid carrying an injury, but there he is. Ball forward towards Jones, and Piazza's made a run. Piazza is clear. Surely it's 2-0, and Piazza fires wide. Yet again, an example. Piazza, not quite the big game player that Nuhu is yet. He'll get there. We just won't see it happen. And every time I talk about that, it almost makes me want to cry. I can't believe this save is coming to an end. We just need that happy ending now. Right, everybody remind me, 15 minutes into this half, we've got to take Ganley off. We can't afford to break him, because if we break him, we're not going to have him for, hopefully, the next round of the Champions League, for the FA Cup semi-final that we've got coming up at the weekend. We need to keep Ganley fit. And I think, rather than making him play the full hour, he says, and then misses the pause button, we're going to get Ganley off. Alonso on for Ganley. I mean, it's not a disaster having to make that substitution by any means, but we've given Ganley an hour in a massive Champions League game. It's good experience for him. And now we get Alonso on to hopefully do an Alonso special. Jones is in again though, and Charlie Jones makes it 2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. We've been looking for the real Charlie Jones for the last several seasons. He's been living in the shadow of Piazza ever since he arrived at the club. But goodness me, when it absolutely counts, there's your big game player, club captain, Charlie Jones. 3-0 up on aggregate now. Surely even I can't bottle this from here. Right, let's make another substitution. We're going to take Ruzic off. Do I bring on Cameron? No, we're going to bring on Wanda again. Situations like this, it's got to be Wanda. As good as Caminero is, Wanda is just, he bleeds Nuneaton. Piazza brought down in the area, but it's not a foul, apparently. Feels a bit harsh. Arsenal have not been in this game at all tonight. If we throw this away from here, it would have been a last 20 minutes of ripe at moments. Ball comes in from Alonso, but no one really gets hold of it, and it's with Centurion to Piazza to Jones. Jones is on a hat-trick, remember. Ruzic now to Barbas to Centurion, down to Ruzic again. Barbas. Wanda's not even made it on the pitch yet. Coupler, cross comes in. Alonso off the frame of the goal, and it's back to Coupler. It comes in again, and it's cleared, but only as far as Centurion. We're relentless here. Cross comes in, only as far as Barbas. It's with Piazza, who fires over from a very good goal scoring position. Piazza has made both of the goals today, but goodness me, he could have got a hat-trick himself if he'd have had his shooting boots on. Right, final substitution. We are going to bring on Caminero now in that midfield. Caminero on for Centurion. We're just going to swap Caminero and Wanda over as well. Caminero just gives us a little bit more oomph in that defensive position in the middle of the midfield. We always defend a little better when Caminero's there because he's rock hard. And we're in the semi-final of the Champions League, boys and girls. Oh my word. If this actually comes together, it's the most ridiculous Football Manager story since the last ridiculous Football Manager story. Well, I mean, we've had some ridiculous ones. Was it last year or the year before we won the Champions League the day before the beta came out? Can we string this out long enough? When's the beta due? We're going to show you every game for the run-in now. We're going to win it right, but no, we're going to win it this week. I want a week off. And then they'll release the beta the next day because they're monsters. Right, don't go anywhere. We've got a Champions League semi-final draw coming up. Oh my word. If we're going to do it, it's going to be hard. I mean, that in itself, that feels like completing Football Manager, just that screen. The draw for the UEFA Champions League semi-final is made today. Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United, Real Madrid and Nuneaton Town will go into the hat for the two matches to be drawn. I mean, there's no good draw here, is there? Man United just destroy us every time we play them. That's a disaster. We need one of the other two to take care of them, and we need to fluke. We need Paris Saint-Germain, so Vujicic throws it for us and lets us into the final. Meanwhile, Real Madrid take care of Man United and then have an off day against us in the final. That's the dream scenario. So, Man United, we need this to be Real Madrid. Cross the fingers, everybody. Why? Why does it always come down to the other Premier League teams? Well, tomorrow we have to figure out how to beat Manchester United. Just for some context, they beat us 4-3 at home recently. When's the time before we played them? We lost 3-1 away. Let's go back a year. Manchester United. Can anyone see them? We lost there in the FA Cup. Oh, we lost there as well. We did beat them 5-0 nearly 2 years ago. That's how we need to play against them tomorrow. Well, hopefully by then we'll have also booked an FA Cup final slot as well. I'm not going to show you the FA Cup semi-final because we've been down that road before. I'll obviously show you the final if we get there, but tomorrow is all about the Champions League semi-final against Manchester United. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.